Well, that ought to be interesting. And there we go. And mute that. Oh, wait a second. No, we don't want to mute that. Don't want. What's going on here? Okay. Botox Docs, Renee's in the house. Jeff Jerzik's in the house. Hey guys, how are we all doing? Just getting started, just getting warmed up. What do we got here? Simone is here. Wow, all these people here already. Hold on, Rizzo's here. Dell Investments here. Gail's here. Cool Beans. Having issue over there. Share to group. No. Oh, what do we got over here? Display. Here we go. Uh-oh, what do we have here? What do we have? Oh, haven't signed in yet. That ought to be fun. Let's do this. And there we go. And there we go. That's good. Get logging in here. Hold on, just logging in. Oh, okay. Okay, see if that was it. Luigi, que pasa? What's happening? Papa G's in the house. That's right. Okay, Joe Jolly. Jojo Lynn. Oh, Joe Jolly. Looks like it said Joe Jolly. Sorry, Jojo Lynn. That's who it is. Having issues with Facebook over here. Facebook is having issues. But then again, I always have issues with Facebook. Okay, we'll see what happened there. That's good to go. That's good to go. That's good to go. And that is right there. Bloody jolly good. Okay, that's that. That's that. Nope. Trade right there. Okay. And okay. Almost ready. It's Sunday night, just getting started. Hold on. I'm still working on it. Okay, cool. So you get 2 Facebook channels, 1 Instagram, 2 TikToks, and that one. Wow. Okay, so you got a lot going on. All right, so what we got here? Start streaming. Stop recording. And it should be good to go. All right, so what do we got here? Okay, let's get this a little bit smaller. Right there. Right there. Cool. And that's going. Cool. Going, and going. All right. We seem to be up and running. Uh-oh, one thing missing. Here it is. One thing missing, guys. Here it comes, and almost. Just gonna make it a little smaller right there. And I think that's it. Nope, that's it right there. All righty, that's it. Ready to roll. Here's the thing, okay? It's Sunday night. Yesterday, we went and got new modem, new router. New router, new modem. So we shouldn't have any lags whatsoever. So that being said, good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, show you exactly what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys are learning something. All right, what am I looking for? Specifically, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, I know it doesn't sound that glamorous. Ain't gonna get rich, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cash flow. I'm retired. I have a certain amount of money that I worked for throughout my working life. And yeah, now it's time for me to retire, take that money and make a consistent, safe, predictable weekly cash flow. So that's basically just what I'm telling you, what I'm showing you also. Because not only do I show you what I'm doing, well, I'm teaching you as we go along too. Javier, good evening. Antoine, what's up with you? All right, hold on. We're going to get back to TikTok, get that rolling again. All right, let's see what kind of questions we have. Now, do me a favor. I'll take a look at whatever stock you want me to take a look at, but I need you to understand a few things before we even get started. I'm looking for something specific, okay? Now, there's over 10,000 different companies available that we can invest in. As a matter of fact, it is a new week starting tomorrow, so let's take a look and see exactly how many stocks are out there for us to take a look at. Buy and hold stock. How are you doing today? All right, so let's go here. Now, we're going to go over to FinViz so you guys can see how many stocks there are in the stock market. And then we're going to go from there and hopefully give you an idea of what's there and what's not there. Okay, so here's FinViz. We're going to go right to the screen, look at one specific number. Come on. Here's the number right here. 10,000, right there. 10,034 companies. 10,034. Okay, how many have dividends? Well, let's find out. Positive dividends. 5,803. So there's 10,000 companies. Well, there's over 10,000 companies. All right, so there's over 10,034 companies. Okay, great. So how do you decide which ones are right for you? Well, because we're all looking for something similar but different. Okay, I'm looking for making a profit. And I'm sure all you guys are looking to make a profit also, but what specifically are you looking to do? Okay, do you want to day trade? Do you want to trade just once a year? Do you want to trade once a month, once a quarter, once every 30 days? I have no idea what you guys want to do. So to make it easy, I'm just showing you what I do. I buy a good quality company. We're going to get into a few of those in a little bit. Now, I buy them on Monday, and then I sell a covered call against them. Because remember what I said, that consistent weekly cash flow is what I'm looking for. Now, I'm not a day trader. I do not look for little patterns and trade that all day long. That's not what I do. I trade once a week, which is usually Monday or Tuesday. I collect a premium, which is kind of like an insurance policy payment. Well, because that's what stock options are. They are insurance policies. Now, you need 4 items when it comes to an insurance policy or any contract, as a matter of fact. Beginning date, ending date, consideration, and then meeting of the minds or mutual agreement. Okay, the mutual agreement that we're talking about here in the stock market is someone is going to buy a stock from me at a certain price by a certain date. Now, I have 2 criteria in the stocks that I'm looking for, and only 2. Okay, we saw a couple of seconds ago 10,034 different companies available. You can pick any one depending on what you want. I want cash flow. So certain stocks are going to work and other ones are not. It's actually that simple. So the 2 criteria I have. Number 1, this one always boggles my mind because it is so elementary. It is so logical. It is so practical. It is so make freaking sense. That it is just, you'll see why it boggles my mind. Because I don't want to put my money into any company unless, here's my criteria number 1, it is consistently profitable. Now, doesn't that sound like the stupidest thing you've ever heard? Well, why would you put your money into a company that's not profitable? Well, here's the thing. When I say profitable, I mean consistently profitable. It means every single year the company makes more and more and more and more and more and more. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want anything else unless it has 2 decades of increased profitability. Now, you may think that's a lot of time, 20 years, but the stock market's been around for 400. So I don't think 20 years is that big of an ask. I mean, think about it. 400 years? All right, so 425 years, roughly. Okay? Some people say it started in 1600. Well, as far as I know, the first stock was sold in 1602. I could be wrong. Okay? There could be one out there older than the one from 1602. Could be. But here's the thing. The stock market's been around for over 400 years. So why would you invest in anything other than a profitable company? Well, not just that, but consistently profitable. Year after year after year after year. It just makes sense. Why wouldn't you? That's the part that boggles my mind. Because some of the stocks you guys asked me to take a look at, I'm not pointing at you particularly. You know who you are. You're asking me about a stock that is questionable, and you want me to give my opinion thinking that might change anything. Well, if the company's not profitable, no matter how much I like it, it's not going to change the fact that it's not profitable. All right, anyway, that's criteria number 1. Criteria number 2, weekly options. I want to make sure I can make cash flow on a weekly basis. And there's only 2 ways of doing that. 1 is through weekly stock options. 2, steer at the chart all day long looking for certain patterns to jump in and jump out. Yeah, I'm not doing that one. Okay? I like to sell stock options so I can get paid every single 7 days. Every 7 days, I want to pick up a paycheck. I grew up in the 60s and 70s. We went to work 8 o'clock in the morning. We came home from work at 5 o'clock. And then we enjoyed the weekends. I'm used to it. I like it. I see no reason to change. So I jump in first thing Monday morning, make a few trades, keep my eye on it throughout the week, and jump out on Friday. And then I enjoy the weekend. I didn't turn my computer on at all this weekend. That's why it took me so long to log in this morning, because we got a new modem and a new router, and that takes a little time to get everything in line. But it seems like we're working okay. I think. Let me check Restream and see if that's working. Did I say online or offline? YouTube is not working. Damn it. All right, so how do I fix this? Let's figure this one out. This ought to be fun. Now, Jacob showed me how to do this. Let's see if I can get it done right. Settings. Stream. Uh-oh. Why isn't it working? I'll try that one more time. All right. Well, that's not right. Well, looks like we're not going to be doing that now, are we? Because I'm total loss. All right, it is what it is. March 26th. Uh-oh, that don't look good. Let's do this. Okay. Switch camera, switch camera, switch camera. Okay, what do we have going on here? Okay. How do we change the camera? Well, that's not good. Well, this is just not right here. Dougie, hold on a second. Something just ain't working here. Overview, total, blah, 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 blah. Got a good connection. That's lovely. But why isn't this thing turning around? Flip camera. There we go. Yay, there we go. Now it's working. All righty. All right, Doug, thank you for showing up. Let's get back to where we were, because that's not going to help out at all. All righty then. That's not working. All right. Let's go there. And see what we got. See what we go. There we go. Right there. Alrighty, so let's see what we got. Hey, look what we have over here. Alan, how's it going? Jojo. All these people over there. Scott, Bo, okay, Dr. Sarah, cool beans. All right, so let's get going. Let's get out of here. Alrighty, so what do we have first? Uh-oh, nope. Let's go this way. Let's reverse the camera. Mirror the video. Come on. That works, and that works. Wow, cool beans. Look at all these people showing up. Alrighty, alrighty. Well, let's get rolling. Here we go. So what kind of questions do we have over here today? Efthea, Santran, good evening. Dividend Stock Talk and the 10-Minute Trader. Cool beans. All right, Seymour. Got it, got it, got it, got it. Jeff, good evening. Doc, good evening. Simone, good evening. Yep, 400 years. Stock market's been around for quite a while. All right, what do we have? What do we have? Can you check Macy's? Let's check out Macy's. Macy's, here we go. Now, first thing I want to see, as always, you guys over here just coming and tuning in, check this out. Always, I'm looking for 5 things and only 5 things, no matter which way you look at it, just 5. You ready? Number 1, the high of the year. Number 2, the low of the year. Number 3, where was it? Number 4, where is it right now? And number 5, where is it going? Sideways, down, sideways, down. Well, it's bouncing off of this right here. Now it's going back up again. Okay, great. What am I looking for? Well, I'm looking to grab 1% out of this deal. Well, here we go right here. Currently, the stock is at 1137. So the closest strike price that I'm looking at was most likely going to be the 1150s. So let's take a look at what the 1150 looks like. Right here, 1150 right there, 34 cents a share. That is over 3%. But that's not the big thing. 3% for 1 week. Well, that's great. But what are we looking at? What we're looking at, is it the right time to buy Macy's? That's the big question. Okay, am I buying it or am I not buying it? Well, let's take a look. Well, the last 90 days, well, before we do that, a year ago, we're at 1923. The high of the year was back at the end of May last year. Okay, that was 2070. So from 2070, top at the end of May of last year, she drops all the way down to here at 973 about a week ago. That's the low. It hasn't been this low in over a year, maybe even longer. Don't know. Well, let's take a look at the last 90 days. Well, no, the last 90 days, the last 3 months, gives me a good idea of where do I think this is going next. The 13th, right there. Okay, so here's the last 90 days, and I'm looking for the same 5 things, all right? The high, the low, Where was it? Where is it? What's the direction? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. Well, that's all stocks do. They go up, they go down. So where are you going to jump in? But before assuming you're going to jump in onto Macy's, first of all, you need to ask yourself a couple of very important questions. And question number one, do I even like Macy's? Well, that's a good question. Now, Macy's has been in business for over 100 years. It's very difficult to buy name recognition that actually Macy's has. Macy's has some awesome name recognition. Okay, so here we go. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Sideways, down, now she's going back up again. Well, that kind of makes sense. But are we sure? Because remember last Thursday, okay, we had that tariff scare, okay? People panicked, they sold, dropped on Thursday, dropped on Friday, dropped on Monday, dropped on Tuesday. Wednesday, she shoots up, and then Thursday and Friday, back down again. So the bottom of the year is right here, okay, right in the, under $10. Now, is it going up or is it still going to keep going down? And that's always a tough one. Always a tough one because you never really know where it's going to go. So it looks like the top's here, bottom's here. Now she's going to bounce up and go back up again because you're never going to get a better bottom than the bottom of the year. Because buy low, sell high. Well, you've been hearing that for decades, and there's a reason why that is. Well, I want to buy it while it's low. You ain't going to get any lower than the low of the year. And that was 3-4 days ago. Okay, but the question's still eating upon your brain. Do I like Macy's? Am I willing to buy Macy's at this current price? Well, the current price is $11.37. Is that something you could do? Are you okay with buying Macy's at $11.37? And are you willing to hold on to it long enough for it to hit your target? Now, remember the reason why we're buying these stocks in the first place. Cash flow. Well, Macy's, they pay out a dividend every 90 days. Is that what you're looking for? Well, I'm not really looking for the dividend. I'm looking for the premium. Now, I can collect the premium every 7 days. Every 7 days. That's once a week. So if I can get 1% every single week. Now, we're going to actually do a sample trade on this one to show you exactly what the return is. I'm thinking it's somewhere over 3% for 1 week. Now, okay, I like Macy's. I actually own some Macy's. I have no desire to get rid of my Macy's because it gives me cash flow every single week. And I'm looking for 1%. Well, 1% is over 50% per year. Now, if 50% per year excites you, it should. I mean, you could double your money every 14 or 15 months if you compound the interest. Compounded interest is just crazy the way the numbers grow. But let's take a look at a sample trade on Macy's. All right, let's do this. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's change this right here where it says signal. It's got the option chain. So I want to see the strategy. Now, I use Thinkorswim for my trading platform, and that's through Charles Schwab. Now, Charles Schwab is a big name. They've been around for a long time, over 100 years. So let's take a look. I'm going to drop down over here to covered stock because covered stock is one of the safest trading strategies there is. That's where I'm buying the stock and selling it to somebody else on the same day, actually in the same transaction. In, out, I'm good. Now, to see what's happening, I'm going to explain what's happening as we progress. Right now, I want to buy it at the current price, $11.35. The closest strike price, which is right here, is what I want to sell it for to someone else. Okay, so if it's at $11.35, the closest strike price is going to be $11.50. So if I sell it, if I buy it $11.35, sell it $11.50, well, I'm making 15 cents off the deal, but that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for, buy it here, sell it here, and this is what I'm going to collect. Watch, you'll see. Okay, so let's do a covered call, 1150. Okay, and now I just want to do one to show you what one will look like. It's up to you to figure out, well, if that's what one is, I could probably do 3, or I could do 7, or I could do 114. Well, we're all different. We all have different amounts of money. With the amount of people that come through here on a nightly basis, it's easy to see how many people are actually going to hang around. Okay, this is the first night I'm broadcasting off of this channel over here on my phone. I usually do it off of something else. But anyway, all right, so here's the trade here. Okay, you ready? Buy one covered call of Macy's 100, that's the weekly, 17 April 25. Well, that's this coming Friday. So this option that I'm going to sell is going to expire this coming Friday. So what's going to happen for me? Well, I'm going to collect this right here. That's the premium. All right. The 1150 call option against the Macy's stock at the market to open. So that's just the order right there. Now it's 2 orders in one. I'm buying the stock and selling the option at the exact same time. So what does that do for me? Well, it gives me a profit before I even enter the trade. I know exactly what I'm going to make, or someplace really close to it. So $51, it may not sound like a lot to you, but let's do the math, because math has a tendency to give you a different view. Lisa M. YouTube portrait is working fine. Okay. Was it inside trader market manipulation? That I don't know. Oh, I got a couple of questions here that I missed. Oh, boy. Sorry, guys. Good evening. Howdy from Texas. The YouTube channel that shows the entire screen is glitching. Yep, having an issue with that. No, Jacob's not here. He usually takes care of all that tech stuff for me. Mike Factory. Cool beans. Snortax. Interesting. Snortax. Okay. Pinfell. Thank you. Specky Four Eyes. YouTube channel with the big screen not working. Yes, Luigi, I know that, and I'm having issues. It's not my thing, you know, so Jacob is not here. Jacob usually takes care of that for me, so I'll have to deal with that tomorrow. Sorry. It's just one of those things. All right, so let's break out the calculator to find out exactly what kind of return that is. I'm thinking 3%. So let's find the calculator. Calculator. All righty. All right, first thing I want to do is I want to put maximum profit 5150 into the calculator, and this way I can figure out what kind of rate of return am I getting. 5150. I divide it by my purchase price, $10.99, $1,099. That's like $1,100. Okay. 4.6%. I got to write that one down. 4.6 for Macy's tomorrow. Well, looks lovely to me. Think about it. Number one, do I like Macy's? Number two, am I willing to buy it at this current price? Am I willing to hold on to it for however long it takes for it to hit my target? Well, if I'm buying it at $11.35, my target is $11.50. Okay? Now, let's go back to the chart again. Okay, here's the 30-day chart. You cannot argue with the 30-day chart. 30 days ago, it was at the 30-day high. Now she's dropping, finds its bottom on Tuesday. Wednesday was higher, Thursday was higher, Friday was higher, but it's still coming down though. Top, bottom, now she's going up. Is that what it's going to continue doing? Don't know. Well, let's keep an eye on it and see what it does. Because I own some Macy's, and with the number looking the way it does, I have no problem whatsoever jumping into a little bit more of Macy's. Ryan Davis, how can we make a good iron condor trade? Okay, Ryan, I'm not going to teach that. Terribly sorry. I got to draw the line somewhere, Ryan. Okay, I give away this for free. Don't ask for anything in return. I'm just sharing my knowledge here. But that one's a little bit more complicated over and above what we got here. Okay? All right. Felix wants to take a look at Abbott Labs. All right. Take a look at Abbott Labs in a minute. ABT. Abbott Labs. Here we go. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Sideways up. Sideways up. Down. Now it's going back up again. Okay. Looks good. But let's take a closer look at the numbers. Whoops. I got to move that so I can see them. Currently at 120. 126.88, the 127's $3. Well, that's more than 2%. Well, that sounds good. Well, let's take a look. Now that we see the numbers look good, let's take a look at the chart a little deeper. 109.82 was a year ago. Okay, looks like we bottomed out in mid-July last year at 99.50. All right, goes up. Goes sideways for a little bit. Look at the last 90 days. Last 90 days. High, low is, look at this. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay, look at that. That's what's happening right now. Okay, so tomorrow, that actually looks like a good trade right there. Let's zoom in a little closer to see if it actually is. 30 days, 30 days. Here we go. Last 30 days. 130. Jumps up to 133, drops back down to 120, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's definitely going up. High here, bottom there. Now she's going back up again. Yep, looks good if you like Abbott Labs. See, if you don't know who they are and what they do, why would you buy them? Well, just to let you know, Abbott Labs has been in business for a very long time. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I do know they are a dividend king. And that means they have more than 5 decades. Not 5 years, 5 decades. That's 50 years of increased profitability. So the question should be, why isn't Abbott Labs on my list? Okay, it's on my list. Okay, but let's take a gander. What does it look like? All right, let's get out of here. And let's look at the 127s for Abbott Labs this week. What does 127 look like for this week? There it is right there. Boom, boom, boom. Back down to one contract. One contract right there at the market. And there we go. And here it is. Buy one covered call of Abbott Labs 100s, 17 April 25. Well, that's this coming Friday. Whoever is going to buy this option from me, they can do whatever they want from the time they buy that option until the time that option expires, which is 3:59 p.m. Friday afternoon. They actually expire on Saturday, but once 4 o'clock hits, you can't do anything. So at 3:59 p.m., that's it. Okay, once that clock hits 4 o'clock, the option expires. Okay, so that being said, let's see what the number looks like. Because the maximum profit for 100 shares or one contract is 332. Well, let's get that calculator out and see what it says. Calculator, I'm saying somewhere around 3%. Clear that. Dun, 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 dun. 332 is the maximum profit. See, maximum profit, 332. Cost of trade, including commissions and fees, that's right here. That's what we're going to divide it by. 12,368. 12. Whoops. Divided by 12,368 and 2.68. Well, here's the thing. Do you like Abbott Labs? does it make sense to buy Abbott Labs? Well, Abbott Labs, okay, is offering 2.6% for 1 week. Okay, jump in first thing Monday morning, out Friday afternoon. Hey, if it works, it works. Why the hell not? Okay, 1% every week is over 50% per year, if that's what you're looking for. So that's Abbott Labs. I like that one. I'm gonna write that one down. $2.6. Next, what do we have next? Hey, Big Pop is in the house. A dem in his poodle. Cool beans. Shirley 33, how you doing? Chef Nikki, how's it going? Unlimited. Are you writing covered calls? Yes, I am. Melodic Angie, how are you today? Lulu, Nick, Barbara Woodward. Tom, Sonny, how all y'all doing? Rick, how you doing? Justin CTX. Fida Jut. Cool beans. Wow. All right, so we looked at Macy's. Andrea wants to take a look at Apache and Alcoa. Felix, we did take a look at Abbott Labs. And AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, I'll take a look at it. I'm not that fond of it, only because the dividends aren't that great. But Andrea, Apache, APA. So let's get out of here. Let's get out of there. Get out of there. Get back to where we were. Get back. Get back to where you once belong. Get back, JoJo. Okay, here we go. What's next? What's next? APA, Apache. Whoa, holy cow. Look at that. The high, the low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's bouncing off of here. Could that be the bottom of the year? Okay, the high of the year is here, 34. The bottom, 14. That's more than a 50% drop. What do you think? Do you think that's the bottom? Could be. It's more than 50%. Carlos Eduardo. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? Simply Christian. Chiro. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? Aisle breakers. Tim Adams. What's happening, Tim Adams? Okay, so let's keep on going. So Apache. The numbers for Apache. Holy cow. 10 million shares traded on Friday. That's a lot. All right, 15 bucks. The 1550s are going for 47. Okay, that's almost 3%. Okay, because 1% of a $15 stock is 15 cents. Well, 45 cents is 3%. All right, so let's take a gander. A year ago was the high 34.04. Look at the last 90 days. The last 90 days, right there. Here we go. Last 90 days. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. 2 days to the upside. Yep, it's almost perfect right where it is. So let's take a closer look. 30 days, right there. Okay, look at that. Nice movement up there. Big drop. Now we're here. Okay, the bottom was Wednesday. Thursday was higher. Friday was higher. Perfect setup for Monday morning, depending on if she opens up higher on Monday. Now, if she doesn't open higher than 1504, then it's going to be a no. But it looks like it's pretty good. Andrew, how's it going? The Yeti. Will U.S. Steel come back up this coming week? Ooh, Andrew, let's take a look at U.S. Steel. I like U.S. Steel, and I actually have some. So that's Apache. U.S. Steel. Okay, the high of the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. It's basically going sideways for the whole year. Okay, he had a bottom here and a top here, but basically it's between 36 and 36 and 40 for the whole year, just about. All right, well, let's zoom in. Oh, wait a second. The numbers. 39.70. I don't know. What's close to 39.70? 40, maybe? 39.70? Yeah, 40. Okay, so the 40 is going for $1. That's 2.5%. Well, I like 2.5%. Well, let's check it out. A year ago, we're at 41.84. The bottom of the year was the beginning of September, right around 26.90. Well, the last 90 days, okay, just the last 3 months, okay, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Okay, look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down. What's going on here? It's actually coming down at the moment, so not that great to be jumping into this one. I mean, look at where she is. Okay, up, down, down. Pretty simple. Why would I want to jump into that? I want to find a new bottom first. So USD, I'm going to write that down. We'll take that in 2 weeks. Not 1 week, 2 weeks. Because it's going to take a lot more for this thing to move around. All right. Next. APA. What was the other one she wanted to take a look at? Alcoa. Alcoa, which is AA. Alcoa. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. High, low, was, is, up, down, up, down. What's going on here? 25, the 25's $1.25. That's 5%. Hell yeah. Let's check that one out. A year ago, 36.83, jumps up, pulls back, jumps up. There's the top right there, the end of November at 48, right around 48. Okay, last 90 days. Okay, high, low, was, is. Look at this, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, basically another perfect setup. I say it's a perfect setup. It doesn't mean it's going to work just because it looks good. Okay, 30 days ago at 32. Jumps up to 36, drops down to 22, just below 22. And then Thursday and Friday were both higher. Okay, well, if this is the new bottom, I like 2 days the upside, which is Thursday, Friday. That could very well be. But we don't know how things are going to react due to all that stuff. Does ROST look good? Hold on a second, Andrew. Oh, Andrew wants to take a look at Coca-Cola. Hold on a second over there. I once a cup of tea. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. All right, so that being said, we already did Macy's. Alcoa, we're on that one right now. Let's do one for Alcoa, the 25s. See how quickly I can do this right there. Get out of that, don't need that. Just one. I want just one. Buy one covered call, Alcoa, 100s, that's the weeklies. 17 April 25, that's this coming up Friday. Okay, this coming up Friday, 25 call option against the Alcoa stock at the market to open. That's 2 orders. Buying the stock, selling the option at the exact same time. Look at my profit, 149.50. Okay, so get on my calculator. What is 149.50? Right there. 149.50 divided by the maximum, what is this? The cost of trade, including commissions and fees, 23.51. Grand total of 6.3. Holy shit. Sorry, I had to write that one down. The other mom, Papa Guy, Jordan, Scott, knock, knock, Jared. What's going on over there? Okay, so let's keep on keeping on. All right, so that being said, that actually looks pretty damn good to me. Not that I'm telling you to do it. I'm just saying, I like the numbers. Looks interesting. All right, where were we? Right there and right there. All right, there we go. All right, so what else do we have here? All right, we're at Macy's, Oden, Arezzo, Kohl Beans, Crypto Kundal, Gold Beans. All right, somebody wants to take a look at Kohl's. Who is that? User 7472810233. Okay, Kohl's, KSS. Now, I do happen to have some Kohls. Okay, looks like a sinking ship, doesn't it? High, low, is. Look at the direction. Up, down, sideways, down, up. 690, the 7s are going for 18, which is more than 2%. If you like Kohls, that's always the big question. Okay, there are always opportunities to make money. How much, and do you like the vehicle? Well, the strategy I'm showing you here gets a simple, safe, predictable 1% every week. Are you okay with that? It's slow, it's boring, it's monotonous, it's the same companies over and over and over again. It's freaking boring as hell. Think about it. Boring as hell. 1% every week. Yeah, it takes me 5 or 10 minutes every day, but 5 or 10 minutes every day to make 1% a week, which is over 50% per year. Well, I can do that because I know what my 50% looks like. Well, that's me. I know what it looks like every single week. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. It doesn't bother me a bit. Now, some of you just getting started might be a little frustrated because if you're working with 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, well, 1% of $10,000, well, it's only $100. 10 minutes a day for 5 days, that's like an hour a week for $100. But here's the thing. Next week, it's a little bit more than 100. And the week after that, it's a little bit more than that. And then the next week is more than that. And it slowly grows. Well, 50% every single year is a nice growth, if you think about it. But you are going to have to put some time and effort into it. Well, the time and effort you got to put into it, 5 or 10 minutes a day, 10 to 15 just getting started. Because as you get started, you're learning a new language. You're learning a new thought process. You're actually taking a step that may be uncomfortable for a lot of you. Because most people know that they're not very good with their own money. Some people are really good at it. Some people are really bad. All right, so anyway, let's keep on moving forward. Moni, Kimberly, how are you doing? Mike, what's going on? Manuel Garcia, ¿qué pasa, amigo? Home loans with Drunky. Oh, Drunkle, that's an interesting name. Teresa, good evening, good evening. When James writes something down, pay attention. Okay, Lisa, it didn't take you long to pick that one up, did it? Anyway, let's keep on going. Couch Potato 304. All righty. All right, I don't know what Green Monday means. Carol, 400 years? Yeah, well, Carol, the very first stock, which was the VOC, was sold, as far as I know, okay, in 1602. That was when the very first one was sold. Okay, so from 1602 to where are we now? 2025? Yeah, that's over 423 years. All right, Luigi, AVGO. Now, Luigi, I don't like AVGO anymore. I used to until, whoa. Oh, yeah. That's why. I was thinking of something else. Full port STSS. Z-Dub, I have no idea what full port STSS means. Sorry. So AVGO, let's check it out. The high of the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, sideways, up, down, now back up again. We're at 181.92. So I'll be looking at the 182s because that's the closest one. Yeah, all these numbers are crazy. Every single one give you over 1%. Now, one thing to understand is that sometimes you can do the numbers during the weekends. But if the stock is trading at the moment, which this one is, it kind of messes up all the numbers because we don't know what it's going to open up at tomorrow. Well, until it opens up tomorrow, that's when we can do our arithmetic because it's always the same thing. Okay, where is the stock right now? Okay, what is the closest strike price? Okay, what is the premium of that strike price? And is that more or less than 1%? Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the insurance policy payment every single Monday morning or Monday, Tuesday, because sometimes there is no trading on Mondays. All right, let's keep on going. Lunar, video games. Okay, you don't even need money to get video games. Okay. Cool beans. All right. That being said, let's take a closer look. All right. A year ago, 134.50. Okay. And then on the 19th of April last year was the bottom, 120.44. Okay. The high was in mid-December at 252.22. All right, last 90 days, sorry. The last 90 days, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, we're now at 182, right about. Okay, 30 days ago, we're right around 190, so she still has room to go up, but look at the 90-day high. The 90-day high is at 250. Well, right now, we're at 182. Got a long way to go. It's like almost $70 to go to challenge that 30-day high. Okay, so that being said, let's take a look at the last 30 days, and is this going to be a good opportunity to jump into tomorrow? All right, so 196 drops down to 140. That's like a $50 drop. That's a 25% drop from 195 to 140. Then she jumps back up to 182. There is room for roaming. I mean, bottom shoots up. $186, $185. Okay, one contract. $385, 18,000. Well, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, clear that. 385 is the profit. Was it going to cost 115. 2.1%. If you like AVGO. Okay, now if you don't like AVGO, well, you know, next. That's simple. That's simple. You don't like it? Next. All right, where were we? Where were we next? Who do we have to look at next? Who are we looking at next? All righty, Green Monday, long or short this week? Bets, how are you today? Why is this tanking? Napoleon Robinson, good evening. Bets, smart man, thank you, Bets. So you sell them? Absolutely. Okay, and let's keep on going. What's Lyft going to do? Lyft is not 20 years old yet, dude. Okay, so Stanley, I try not to buy anything unless it has 2 decades, 20 years of consistent profitability. Lyft has got a long way to go. Napoleon Robinson, what is my theory? My theory, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week, using nothing but pre-qualified dividend stocks and buying them just before the EX dividend date. because stocks have a tendency to go up in value just before they pay their dividend, and then using a safe trading strategy known as a covered call to sell somebody something I just bought at the almost exact time or as close as I possibly can to it. Weekly option every 7 days. That's my theory, 1% every week. Journey fan, how is the implied volatility treating you? Crazy. What's the plan? Okay, so Journey fan, I'm loving the implied volatility. I haven't seen premiums this high in a long time. It's giving me a consistent, nice profit, higher than I usually get, which is kind of weird. But, I'm okay with it. That's like going to work one day. Wells Fargo, Andrew, give me a moment. Okay, Journeyman, it's kind of like going into work one day and your boss giving you a raise without him telling you. It's like, yeah. Wells Fargo, uh-oh. WFS, is that right? Well, let's find out. Am I right? WFS. No. Damn it. WFS. Huh. Okay. Jamar wants to take a look at Intel. WFC. Damn it. I should have known that. WFC. WFC. Damn. Here we go. Wells Fargo. High, low, is. Look at the motion. Sideways, up, down. Okay, what's going on here? Interesting. Before we do that, 62.78. The 63's 173. Yeah! That's almost 3%. If you like Wells Fargo. Now, Wells Fargo is another one of those companies that's been around for over 100 years. 100 years being in business and consistently increasing their profits. Why is it not on your list? That should be the question. Why do you not have Wells Fargo on your list? Well, let's take a look at the numbers, okay? A year ago, 57.38. The bottom of the year, we got a double bottom. Check it out. July and September, right around 50 bucks. Both July and September. Okay, the last 90 days. High, low, where was it? Was it up, down, up, down? Now she's going back up again. It's plain to see. It's strange because you take a look at it, okay? It looks like a seesaw. Remember the seesaw back in elementary school? Up, down, up, down, up, down. It doesn't go any other way. Up, down, that's all it does. The idea is to keep a close eye on it. Okay, if you're going to be investing your own money, keep a close eye. Take advantage of situations as they pop up, because a profit is not a profit until you take it. And if you don't take the profit, well, then it doesn't really count as a profit now, does it? Well, that's pretty simple if you think about it, okay? If you don't take a profit, yeah, see you later, is what it is. All right, let's look at the last 30 days. Because it doesn't look that bad at all. Look at it. 30 days ago, we're at 69. Jumps up to 75. Drops down to 58. That was Monday. Okay? Basically, she's going up. Slowly, but still going up. This could, right here, last Monday, could be the lowest day of the year. Well, that's where you want to buy at the low of the year. Well, it's pretty close. It was down to 59. Now it's at 62. Okay, so it's gone its way up. So let's see what that number looks like. $62.50. $62.50. There it is. Just one. One's enough. Well, one's enough to give you an idea how it works. And when you get good at it, well, then you can start buying 10, 20, 40, 50 shares. 50 contracts. Okay, exactly, Andrew. You like that? All right, so buy one covered call, Wells Fargo, 17 April 25. That means this option is going to expire this coming Friday. 5 days away. The 62.50 call, well, the stock is between the bid is 62.41, 62.78. So 650 is going to be the closest. All right. What's the number there look like? 199.50. Well, that's the profit. 199.50. What is it costing? 6,051. 6,051, and that is a profit of 3.2%. Well, 3.2%. Now, if you can get 3.2% every single week, now I've never been able to do that. I'm just saying. Okay, my average is like 1.2 every single week. Well, lately it's a lot higher, but normally, this is not normal, the times we're in now. The implied volatility is just throwing these numbers off to the roof. They are, it's just crazy. But, I'm okay with it. But anyway, here you go. 3.2% if you like Wells Fargo. Let's keep on keeping on. Okay, Jamar wants to take a look at Intel. Now, I do have some Intel. I don't have any Wells Fargo. And there we have it. Okay. That being said, there it is. Okay, so Jamar. No, Mateo, I don't do futures, sorry. I used to do futures years ago, but here's a question for you, Mateo. This is a tip. Okay, just a little tip. Do a little bit of research on the Commitment of Traders report. If you're into futures, you should have a good grasp and understanding. What does the Commitment of Traders report tell you? Because the numbers should be able to speak to you and say, oh, this is a good deal this week, or this one's a good deal this week. But the numbers don't lie. Commitment of Traders report, remember that. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. La 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 la. To pose until World War III. Stop lying. Okay, now I just mentioned something about the Commitment of Traders report. I'm not quite sure why you think I'd be lying about Commitment of Traders report. Okay, you know what? The markets crashed 3 weeks ago. Okay, I'm not quite sure why you live under a rock because, okay, how are you even making money? Oh, that's easy. Making money is easy, dude. But so let me educate you here for a second ago. So you think the market crashed, so you think it's like all over with, and there's no sense doing it anymore? Well, you do realize that the world is going to continue to move on, okay? Even though the market had a correction last week, or was that 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, okay? Doesn't mean the world's gonna end, okay? Making money is not that difficult. So let's see, what else do we have over here? Oh, I caught up with all the questions? No. I couldn't have caught up with all those questions so far. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay. Writing covered calls. Hey there, hello. Give a look at Macy's. Yep, we did Macy's. Mateo, what does the Commitment of Traders report tell me? I'm kind of confused. Okay, Mateo, go find it first. Read the numbers. Decide which one you like. Do you like oil? Do you like raw materials? What is it you're looking for? Oh, but that doesn't matter if we're consistently in free fall. You will just be consistently going into the negative. Well, Thank you for your little tidbit of wisdom. Love a naysayer, INTC. All right. Now, just a little tidbit over here, okay, to pose to until WW3. Okay, just a little tidbit of information. Money doesn't disappear. It goes from one person to another. So as the stock drops like this, whoever bought it there and sold it down here, well, they lost that money. But where'd that money go? It went to somebody. So anytime there's a movement up, down, sideways, whatever, someone's making a profit. Someone's taking a loss. It's a zero-sum game. Okay, where there's a buyer, there's a seller. Where there's a seller, there's a buyer. The left hand washes the right no matter which way you look at it. So if you're at the tail end, sorry about that. Somebody is at the good end. So the money you lost, somebody made that. They're probably happy. Why do some people push SPY and QQQ so much? Most likely because they get commissions on it. Most likely. Oh, I like to trade the NASDAQ on the lower time frame every day. All right, so why are you asking about commitment of traders report? Commitment of traders report's got nothing to do with the NASDAQ, specifically for futures, because you asked about futures earlier. Someone asked about futures, and I said the commitment of traders report. If you're trading futures, you need to be familiar with the commitment of traders report. It's just that simple. So why are people pushing QQQ and SPY? I don't know. My humble opinion, they're a piece of crap for what I want. It might be good for someone else. I don't know what this guy is talking about, but I'm making profits. Amtron, I'm making profits too. I don't know what that guy's talking about. Anyway, Kohl's, we already looked at Kohl's. Fitz Air, good evening. Nice to see you again. Okay, Pierce Steve, good evening. All right, so Jamar wants to take a look at, yeah, actually we're looking at Intel right now. Okay, so we're looking at Intel. Here we go. A year ago, 36. Look at the big drop right here. Big drop, kind of going sideways. Right now we're at 1974. Interesting stuff going on right about here. Doesn't make sense. We're going to take a good look at it. Okay, so let's take a good look at it. Okay, currently trading at 2018. The 20 is going for 73. That's over 3%. I like 3% a week. Now, some of you people don't, but think about it. 10 minutes a day, which is about an hour, to make 1%, which is 50%, more than 50% of what you got. So if you got 25 grand and you're getting 1% every week, well, that's $12,000 or $1,000 a month for one hour a week. Do you support futures prop firms? No, I don't. Oh, I'm trying to save people from actually ruining their lives by listening to you guys because you clearly don't know what you're talking about. Well, I thank you for your concern. It's so nice of you to carry on the burdens for everyone. Lisa, if you go to the casino, play one slot machine, you keep putting money, you decide to leave. Then someone 5 minutes later goes, wins, most likely some money that you put in, they won. Yeah, that's basically the way it goes, Lisa. All right, anyway. May I ask why? Why don't I like prop firms? That's a good question. I'm going to have to think about an answer for that one. Pierce, hey James, it's Steve. Short 4-day trading week. Is it really? The 17th is Thursday. How's Mara? Huh. Ugh. Give me a second. Okay, so you say that 4 trading days today. Oh, that's right. It's Good Friday this week. Well, imagine that. Yeah. So only 4 days today, this week. Cool beans. Good Friday. Yeah, just before Religious Day. All right, Mateo, just recently became profitable with my Top Step funded account. Should I switch to a live account? Okay, Mateo, I can't tell you that one. Okay, I don't know anything about you. I don't give out advice to people I don't know. You can ask me my opinion on some things. Okay, but I don't trust those things as far as I can throw them because I don't know that much about them. Okay, there's always some catch somewhere. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. All right, so let's take a look at, okay, we already looked at Kohl's. Okay, Good Friday, yep. Okay, so let's go take a look at Mara. Wait a minute, we haven't finished up with Intel yet. Let's finish with Intel first, then we'll do Mara. Okay, all right, so this is what we're looking at. That's that. Lovely. Let's take a deeper look into the numbers on the chart to see, is it the right time to jump into Intel? Now, I already have some, so you guys, okay, or me. I mean, I'm going to jump in again. Okay, hold on. A year ago, 36.45. The high of the year was 37.16. That was the middle of July. Now, right around the end of July, beginning of August, she drops from $30 all the way down to 20. That's a 30%, a 33% drop. But it kept on going down as low as 18. Okay. Now she's been going sideways for the past 7 or 8 months, staying between 20 and 26, just going sideways. Okay, fine. What's the last 90 days look like? Okay, the high, low, where was it? Where is it? Basically, love the pattern. Look at it. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again right there. See? So it's a repeatable pattern. People do the same things over and over and over again. So if it makes sense, why not? It's actually that simple. Okay. So the last 30 days, she went up, she came down, now she's going back up again. Slowly at first. But never buy something unless you're okay with it. Next, Mara. Let's take a look at Mara. M-A-R-A. Interesting. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Up, down, down. Now she's going back up again. This could be the bottom of the year right there. Buying at the low of the year is going to be the most profitable position you could be in. Because at the bottom of the year, there's only one way to go. Now, could that be the bottom? Don't know yet. We don't know what's around the corner. Now, Trump did say he's pushing off these tariffs for another 90 days. Well, almost everybody jumped into the, what do you call it? Jumped on the, I want to say conference table, but the negotiating table. So they're going to negotiate. Almost everybody. Almost. Which is a good thing. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. Oh, we're still on Mara. All right. The 1250s. 1250s are going for 67. The 13s are going for 45. The 1350s are going for 29. Oh, all of those are going to give you the profit that you're looking for. Well, let's find out. Okay, a year ago, 1575, the high of the year, 2732. Okay, from 30, wait a second, what's the high? Right there. Yeah, right there, the high, 3028. 3028, and the bottom is here at 10. From 30 to 10, that's a 60% drop. 60%, that's huge. But what does it look like? All right, what's the last 30 days, right? That's 30 days right there. Okay, up, down, up. Definitely going on the upside. Okay, here's the high right here. Then she drops, now she's going back up again. Well, that's exactly where I want to jump in, and I already actually have some Mara. So I don't mind jumping in a little bit more. Do some dollar cost averaging or something to that effect. All right, so let's keep on going. Gush. Napoleon Gush, is that actually a stock? Or what are we talking about, Gush? G-U-S-H. Yeah, that's a no, dude. Okay, I don't do monthlies. That's a no. Why is it tanking? Napoleon, I have no idea which one you're talking about, but okay. Shriyash wrote, hey, do you use order flow or DOM bookmap? Nope. I use common sense and logic. That's what I use. Napoleon, thank you. Journey fan, implied volatility, already did that one. Oh, how do you make your followers? How do you make your followers? Okay, I have no idea what that means whatsoever. Absolute genius, thank you. JB, what's happening? Joe Weird looked at Alcoa. Do you see me? Napoleon Robertson, yes, I do. Sandra Gay, or Sandra Gay. Sandra? Okay. U.S. bond trader. Can we go over MSTY? Why would I want to go over MSTY? Okay, U.S. bond trader. I'm going to show you something on MSTY, just for the fun of it. Okay, MSTY. Okay, now let's go to Yahoo Finance and put in MSTY. Now, I tell everybody, okay, every night I mention this. If you are going to be investing, it is always a wise idea to have at your fingertips a financial website. Well, my financial website that I use is Yahoo Finance. Well, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. And finding your way around is really not that difficult. Historical data. So I'm on the financial website, Yahoo Finance. I'm going to go over to here. See it. Historical data. That's what I want. That's where I want to see how their dividends are. Dividends only. All the dividends. No. All the dividends. All right, so this is all the dividends for MSTY. Do you see this right here? April 4th, 2024. Yeah, they pay a dividend every 30 days. That's every month. But they've been in business for 1 year. That's it, 1 year. Not even 1 year yet. Yeah, I'd say 1 year. Because April 4th, 2024 was their first dividend. April 10th, 2025, well, that's on their second year. So MSTY has 1 year of being in business. In my opinion, just my opinion, I'm going to say no because it's only 1 year old. Now, when I say I'm looking for companies that have 2 decades, MSTY's 1 year old. You get 19 more years before MSTY even comes up on my list. Lisa wants to take a look at Morgan Stanley. Hey, okay, no, I don't. Morgan Stanley, huh? Well, here's Morgan Stanley. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Okay, up, down. That's pretty simple to see. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit closer before we do 108. The 109 is going for 2. The 108 is going for 355. That would be the safer trade right there. The 110 still 2. 111, well, 192. That's everything here is over 1%. So yeah, almost any single one of them. If you like Morgan Stanley, okay, well, let's take a gander at it. Morgan Stanley, a year ago, was the bottom of the year, 85.49. Well, the last 90 days, okay, here's the high, here's the low, here's the flow. Look at this, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. That is plain as day. Okay, the high's right there 2 months ago. Here's the bottom last week. Now she's going back up again. That right there could very well be the low of the year. Okay, so let's take a look. Last 30, right there. Last 30 days. Up, down, up. Simple, right? Why do people make it complicated? Okay, you got a 30-day high. People start taking profits. The stock comes down. Now you have a 30-day bottom. What happens at the 30-day bottom? Stocks turn around and go back up again. If you follow a stock long enough, you get to see how it moves predictably. Well, Morgan Stanley is on our list, and we do take a look at it every single time it comes up. All right, that being said, what else do we have here? COP, isn't that ConocoPhillips? COP, ConocoPhillips. Okay, same thing. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, up, down. What's going on here? Here's the bottom here. What's going on right there? Well, let's take a look at it. Okay, last 90, there it is. Okay, up, down, up, down. Now she's bouncing up, going up again. Love it when it looks like this. But we're not in normal times. This is not business as usual. Okay? The administration said something, people panicked, stock dropped. Well, what's going on here? Is this the bottom at recovery time? Or considering the administration took their decision and pushed it forward 90 days, what's going to happen here? Is it good? Is it bad? Do we know? No, we don't know. This is uncharted territory. Kind of interesting. But if you always buy something that you like, something of quality, well, there's no reason whatsoever to get rid of it. And if it makes you a nice profit every single week, like I'm looking for 1% every week, that's over 50% per year. And it works for me. So why the hell not? All right, next. 30, there we go. Up, down, now she's going back up again. The bottom was Wednesday. Thursday was higher, Friday was higher. If tomorrow is higher, that would be a good opportunity to jump in. If you like ConocoPhillips. Next. Azor Yazo, good evening. 101 Music. Marty 2022. Kenny Lee, what's going on? Fish Sellers. Duke. Bubbles, OMG. Hello there, Bubbles. All right, Landscape Exact. They are closing stores left and right. I'm assuming you're talking about Macy's. Thank you, Lisa. You're welcome. Don McKnight, good evening. Bubbles says hi. How you doing, Bubbles? Bubbles, what are you looking to learn? Ask me. What are you looking to learn? All right, let's keep on going over here. LC64, Kohl. Okay, our Luna, I thought you don't do Sundays anymore. It's not Sunday, it's Monday. Okay, so in the morning, the market opens. So we're getting prepped for tomorrow. Okay, so I don't do Friday nights and I don't do Saturday nights. I take 2 days off. Jedi mind tricks. These are not the stocks you're looking for. Electri Ping. Are you Bill Gates 3? No, I'm not Bill Gates 3. I don't even know why you'd even think that. Okay, Rogerto Pierce. I know you looked at Mara, but not at the premiums. Are selling 13s paying 7.5% for 4 days? Yeah, Pierce, I didn't want to say that out too loud, but yeah. And just think, do the calculations as if you had a margin account. Do those calculations, it's like, holy cow, how could I not do this? But you got to like the stock and you got to be willing to hold on to it. Yeah, the numbers look great. I understand that. I just listened to your insights. You long hold for dividends? I'm not there yet. No, Bubbles, not at all. So you were listening, but you didn't hear what I had to say. Okay, let me see if I can explain this slowly. Hold on. All right, you ready? Here we go, Bubbles. I'm looking at dividend stocks, specifically dividend stocks that have been consistently profitable. When I say consistently profitable, I mean 2 decades or more. That's 20 years or more of consistent profitability. All right. Now, just before the dividend is paid, we find that out by this right here. This is what is called an EX dividend calendar. All these little green dots on this calendar represents companies that are getting ready to pay out their dividend. The reason why we look at stocks just before they're paying out their dividends, because stocks have a tendency to go up just before the green dot date. Okay, so the green dot date is the EX dividend date. So just before the dividend is paid out, stocks go up. Great. Knowing that information, what trading strategies are you going to use? Because there's a whole bunch. Okay, so I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for me to lose trade. Well, that I have found in my many years of trading to be the covered call. Covered means, well, you're basically good to go. You're basically covered. So the covered call is one of the few strategies where you know what your profit is going to be before you even do it. So if I'm only looking at dividend stocks at a specific time, then I buy those stocks, sell them to someone else for basically the exact same price I just paid for it. And for that privilege, whoever buys the option from me is going to give me what is called a premium, a call option premium. And that is usually more than 1% every single week. So 1% every single week comes to over 50% per year. Now, 50% per year works out just fine for me, takes care of all my bills. So that being said, I'm retired. I'm not relying on the government for handouts. I'm too young to collect Social Security, and I got a peek at what my Social Security is going to look like. Yeah, it ain't worth it. So I'm on my own, so to speak. That being said, what other questions we have over here on YouTube? All right, Sheree wrote, you are helping your young ones like us with your experience. Really appreciate it. Got a new sub. Well, thank you kindly. Right, that's a very nice thing to say. I'm going to sleep better. I actually quit now. That is like one of the nicest compliments from a new person I've gotten in a while. I should go to bed tonight. Nope. I got way too much to do, and we have another half hour to go. So let's see what else we got. What else do we have tonight? Tim Anderson. How are you today? Claudia. How are you, Claudia? Uh-oh, the FBI's here. We got to chill. What does it say? FBI 2024. Interesting name. Aside from Macy's, is there another one that's consistent? Is that better than JEPQ? Oh my goodness. JEPQ. Are you serious? How could you possibly like JEPQ? Now, I don't know who just asked that one. FCASB. Okay, JEPQ. Ouch, that hurts. Even saying it out loud. All right, let's go to Yahoo Finance and put Yahoo Finance, JEPQ, and check out JEPQ. Let's check out the dividends. How consistently profitable is JEPQ? All right, well, let's find out. You ready? Here we go. Now, I always tell everyone, if you're going to be trading and be a serious trader, you really got to have access to a financial website. Because a financial website will tell you information that the broker's trading platform won't. Now, a lot of the trading platforms will have links to news articles and interesting information, but not a lot of them give you access to the data stream. Now, the data stream is basically where they put all the data. Okay, well, this is pretty simple. Okay, so for this data, well, it's the dividends. Now, this company pays a dividend sporadically: July, August, September, October, November, December. December, February, March, April. Okay. Oh, apparently they pay, what? Are you kidding me? 1 year? Low battery. Can't have that. Can't have a low battery. Okay. Is that right? Oops. All right, low battery. All right, so JEPQ is about it's got to be more than 1 year old. Hold on. It is. Okay. Okay, so it's 2.5 years old. The very first dividend was in June 2022. That's a little over 2 years old. Well, 2 years is not enough time to figure out whether or not a company is going to be profitable. Well, let's take a look at the dividends, because hypothetically speaking, okay, if the company's profitable, the dividend should increase with each payout, right? Well, let's find out. All right. The very first dividend was 38. The very next one was 34. Now, I don't know about you, but from 38 to 34, that's not increasing in profits. That's actually decreasing in profits. You're supposed to make more money next year than you do this year. Well, these are monthlies. All right, so should we let them get away with it? Should we give them a pass? I mean, 38, 34, 41, 55. Let's keep on looking. All right. 38, 34, that's one backwards. 41, 55, 38, that's two backwards. 68, 55, that's three backwards. 55. 58, 44, four backwards. 43, five backwards. 45, 48, 36, six backwards. 37, 37, no increase, that's 8. 45, 42, that's backwards. 42, 42, no increase. 34, backwards. 38, 43, 43, 45, 42, backwards. We're at 11. This thing is not even 3 or 4 years old, and already it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. There's no consistency whatsoever. So I'm not quite sure why you would buy this. Think about it. Okay, who was it? I can't read that name. SFC. What the hell kind of a name starts with FC? Anyway, besides the point, the numbers aren't consistently going up. So what's that? 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back. Yeah, no, thank you. There's no consistency of profitability. So no, I don't do JEPQ. I don't do JEPI. I don't do JEP anything. Okay, because I'm looking for 20 years, 20 of consistent profitability. And if it's going to look like this, I'm going to say no, thank you. There are too many other companies. Now, we looked at the beginning of the show, 10,034 companies. That's a lot. Now, out of those 10,034 companies, all right, only about 300 fit what I'm looking for. Consistently profitable and weekly options. Well, if it makes sense, why the hell not? I mean, think about it. Why not if it makes sense? It's just that simple. If it makes sense, yeah, sure, why not? All right, so let's keep on going. Jesus Caprio, que pasa, amigo? Christopher, he looks so much like Fauci. I don't trust him. Well, Christopher, I'm going to take that as an insult. You think I look like Fauci? Holy cow. All right, is what it is. You can believe what you want. Vintage Black, how are you doing today? Marcelo, que pasa? Flo, good evening. Nessie, is that Nessie or Nessie? I don't know. All right. RCI, okay. Have you seen Rusty Dog? Have you seen what, Rusty Dog? Nightmare, okay. Cool. Abigail. Okay, Kev wants to take a look at RCI. All right, what does RCI look like? Right there. Let's get there. Let's get there. RCI. Here we go. RCI. What the heck is RCI? RCI, Rogers. Nope. Sorry. Monthly. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Sorry. Hey, I'm Fresha. How are you doing today? Bobby Ann. Bobby Ann, how are you today? Abigail, how you doing? All right. Uh-oh. Harry for Good wants to take a look at Nvidia. Oh my goodness. Oh, no. He looks like Al Pacino. Okay, thank you. Space Rooster. Interesting name. All right, so Harry wants to take a look at Nvidia. Now, I haven't looked at Nvidia in a while. Okay. NVDA. Wow. Here's Nvidia. High, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. 114. The 114s are going for 216. Okay, interesting. I got a minor problem with Nvidia. Let me enlighten you what my problem for Nvidia is. For this little example, we're going to go over to the Yahoo Finance, the financial website. And then we're going to put Nvidia, NVDA, in here. And we're going to check out how wonderful these dividends for Nvidia is. Wow. Now, Nvidia has been paying dividends for quite a while. Let's take a look. 2012, 0. 2013, 0. 2014, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And look at the last year. June 2024, 1 penny. September 2024, 1 penny. December 2024, 1 penny. So explain to me what is so good about Nvidia? Hold on. It actually gets worse. Really does. Let's go to the summary. Now, let me see if you understand what the summary is. Okay? The stock is at 108. Okay? Actually, it's at 110. Look at the forward dividend and yield. Okay, the yield is basically if you're putting money in, how much you're getting in return at the end of the year. Well, here you go. You can buy Nvidia for $110 a share. Well, 110. All right, great. What am I making off of it? 4 cents a year. That's 0.04%. 0.04. You're losing money hand over fist. But hold on. It actually gets kind of worse, believe it or not. We're going to go now to statistics. Down over here, going to statistics. I want to show you something interesting about Nvidia. Price book, blah, blah, blah. Profitability. Okay. See where it says profitability? Here's the numbers. Your profit margin, 55%. Well, that's nice. Operating margin, 61%. Wait a second. Hold on. If they're making 55%, but they're spending 61%, that's not good at all. Hold on. Hold on. Revenue per share, $5.31 per share. $5.31 per share. All right, let's move down a little further. Book value, $3.24 a share. Well, let me see if I can summarize and make it simple for you. You're paying $110 a share to own the stock. That's just to own it. They're giving you 4 cents for a premium, for a dividend. 4 cents for the year. So you're going to tie up $111 so that you can collect 4 cents. Okay, doesn't sound like a good investment, but it kind of gets a little worse. Hold on a second. So if the book value is $3.24, do you have any idea what that means? Well, basically what it means is if, hypothetically speaking, let's say the Supreme Court came to Nvidia and said, excuse me, you need to liquidate your assets and pay off all your investors. Worst case scenario, guess what you're going to get? $3.24 a share. You're paying $110 to receive back $3.24. It doesn't make sense. Well, let me give you a little bit of a comparison. Okay. Profitability, 3.2%. Operating margin, 2.5%. Well, the operating is less than the profit margin. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to bring in more money than you spend. Well, Nvidia was the other way around. Hold on. Revenue per share, $168 per share. So this company here is bringing in $168 per share. What's Nvidia bringing in? $5 per share? This, $168. Okay, what's the book value? The book value, $63. Well, look at the price of the stock, $43. It's less than half the price of Nvidia. It's worth almost 8 times going by the book value. Okay, because the book value for Nvidia was $3 and change per share. Well, this one is $63 per share. Huge difference. Well, the dividend is not that great, but it is 1.1%, which is a hell of a lot better than 0.04. Because Nvidia is 0.04. That's 4 cents for 110. Yeah, no, that's just no. I don't know why you'd think that would be good. David wants to take a look at Riley. Okay, we're not gonna look at anything else because we're getting close to 11:30. I'm just gonna answer up the rest of the questions and call it a night. So let's see what we got for questions. Questions. Can you see about KNX, Night Swift Transportation Holdings? What the heck is KNX? I never heard of it. Now, usually when I say I've never heard of it, that's usually not good. KNX. Yeah, that's going to be a no, dude. Okay? Monthly. 17 April, 16 May, 15 August, 21 November. Okay, monthlies mean you can only do it once a month. Now, think about it. Once a month, you want to get paid once a month or once a week. I want to get paid once a week, but that's me. I'm weird. Oh, my tea's gone, so I'm drinking this now. All right. How other do you go live on YouTube? Oh, Chase, I go live every night. Okay, 9 p.m. Shaking hands with the one-eyed snake. Hey, Rusty Dog, you have fun with that one. Have you been entertaining yourself a bit too much lately? Oh, God bless. Thank you for the trading and good stream. Okay. Looks like Al Pacino. That's nice. Pablo, you welcome. Agent Hubby. Is SoFi good to buy a share? Okay, Juan, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell anybody who asks me something about a company I'm a little questioning about. Juan, you need to find yourself a financial website. There's Google Finance, there's Yahoo Finance, there's the New York Stock Exchange. You can go there. You can go to any financial website and take a look at how often has SoFi been profitable. How often have they increased their dividends? What is their cash flow look like? What is their book value? What is the dividend? How often have they increased it? I already said that, didn't I? Yeah, anyway. All right, so that being said, what else we get? New Jersey wants to take a look at Riot and then Riley. We got to take a look at those tomorrow. Team Liberty, 40. I'm not quite sure what that means. Okay, Harry for good, ENB, Enbridge. We got to look at that tomorrow. We're past our timeline for tonight. Pat Dan Mac, if option expires on the Friday and it's not at the price, do you continue owning the stock? No. You continue to own the stock. Why are the calls priced so high today? Well, that's because of the implied volatility. That means there's so much action going on in the stock market. It means there's so many people trading, buying and selling. Yeah, when that happens, that means there's a lot more people buying and a lot more people selling. So yeah, the market makers try to take advantage of that. I was thinking of a better way of saying that, but no, they take advantage of it. A lot of people out there, so they're going to increase the prices. Increase the prices means they get paid more. It's just plain old greed. Chase, are there any monthly dividend stocks or ETFs you like at fair value? Are there any weekly dividend stocks or ETFs? Okay, number one, Chase. There aren't any weekly dividend stocks. I don't know where you got that impression. Now, it may have been confusing when it says something like dividend investing for weekly cash flow. That might be a little misleading. But dividend investing, well, we're investing in dividend stocks using weekly stock options. Okay, so the weekly stock options trade every single week. Okay, not all stocks have weekly options, but there are enough of them. It's more than enough that I can do, and it keeps me busy, and I do collect a nice premium every single week. El Shamat. El. All right. All right, Vegas Knights, good evening, and how are you today? We are getting awfully close to 11:30, and I want to answer all the other questions. So if you want to, come back tomorrow night, and we'll look at Apple. We'll take a really good, close look at Apple, and I'll give you my opinion. No, I like Apple. It's one of those companies that consistently increases every single year. What do you do with the shares where you receive them? Okay, Ellie, I'm not 100% sure I understand the question that you're trying to ask. Okay, what do you do with the shares where you receive them? Not quite sure what you're talking about. James, what do you do if you end up holding a lot of shares? Oh, well, you collect more dividends, and every week you sell a covered call against them, and every week you get return for them. Now, El, I have a couple of rules. Rule number one, this might make a little sense. Never buy something, anything, never buy anything you do not want to hold on to long term. If you're looking at a stock, let's say this one here, Knight Swift Transportation. Okay, if you're going to buy it, don't buy it unless you intend to hold it until the day you die. That being said, great. If you buy it, it's at $39.88. Well, the 40 is going for 55 cents. Okay, that's over 1% for 1 week. Okay, the number sounds good, but are you okay with the company? What do you know about? I don't know anything at all about this. Okay, it's a monthly optional stock, which I don't do monthlies because the numbers just don't work out. Okay, so that being said, never buy something you do not want to hold on to. And if you do buy a good quality company, well, sell a covered call every week to have some cash flow coming in. That's the whole premise of this strategy, to have a consistent cash flow coming in every single week. All right, so let's keep on going. What stocks have you held the longest? Ooh, that would be Kimberly-Clark. I held that for 9 months. Pierce, see you tomorrow. 9 months I held on to Kimberly-Clark. Didn't want to, but I bought the stock and it dropped. Skirted around the bottom for quite a while before it came back up, and then I got out. But for that 9 months, I collected 3 dividends and over 33 premiums. So I got a nice profit off of it. Our Luna likes Kinder Morgan. I like Kinder Morgan too. VFV, big shares. We'll have to take a look at that one tomorrow. Elise, Merck, good evening. All right. CJ Sears, Bull, we'll have to take a look at that tomorrow. Andrea, VFC, I like that one. Can you repeat your theory? Harry for good, my theory is investing in dividend stocks, pre-qualified dividend stocks specifically, for a safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week, because the stocks have a tendency to go up just before the EX date. Just before the EX date, you buy a covered call, buying the stock and selling at the exact same price to collect that 1% premium on a weekly basis. DJ Larry Papa, what's going on? Scott. So the implied volatility increases the premiums. Yes, it does. I did not look at it as a crash. I looked at it as an opportunity. Well, so did I, Andrea, but some people call it a crash because they're a little unhappy. Andrea, oh, we already looked at those two, kiddo. Mimi, stocks and bonds tanking. Thanks, Trump. All right, Mimi, you got to do a little bit more research when it comes to economics. Okay? I thank Trump every day for what he did. He's giving us perfect buying opportunities. People that are panicking and selling, no, they're not doing something right. Do you make content on technicals and charting? No. Logic and common sense is what I use. What stocks have you held the longest? All right, we already did that one, Lisa. Rudy, bandwagon. Never heard of bandwagon. I like Mary. Yes, I do, Rudy. Boa noite. Augusto Mariano. Que pasa, amigo? Do you have a list of all the monthly dividend stocks that are available? I'm so freaking cool too. Okay. Do I have a list? Yes, I do. Are you ready? You got a pencil, paper, crayon, mascara, chalk, lipstick, whatever. List number 1, Dividend Kings. List number 2, Dividend Aristocrats. List number 3, Dividend Champions. List number 4, Dividend Contenders. List number 5, Warren Buffett's current stock positions. That's 5 lists right there. That will give you more than 300 really good dividend stock companies. That also meets your criteria for 20 years or more in business success. Just gave you that list. Can we please review Ford? Lamina, we can do that one tomorrow. All righty. Hasuna, good evening. Is there a limit to how much you can sell covered calls? Now, here's the thing. When you're selling a covered call, you got one person to sell it to, and he sets the price. You can set whatever price you want, but usually it's the market maker who sets the price, okay? Where did you get your EX calendar? Okay, Rudy, you can go to, now, the EX calendar that I have, this one here, it comes with the software. Okay, now it's not my software. I don't make any money off of it. I just like it because I've been using it for so long. It's called Think or Swim. Okay, you can use it for free if you have a Charles Schwab account. My wife, my husband just joined. Tootsie, good evening. All right, let's keep on going. Okay, Scotty Scott, if the price hits your target strike before Friday, do you close the trade early or still wait till expiration? All right, Scotty, whoever bought the option from me, it is their choice, okay? When you buy an option, you can exercise that option anytime you want, okay? As an option seller, I'm an option seller, okay? When I sell the option, whoever bought it, I have no idea who that is, but they have the right to buy it, sell it, or exercise it. The only thing I have after that point, after I sell it, the only options I have available, or the only choices I have available, is to buy back the option or roll it forward. But I keep an eye on the price, so if it gets close to my strike price, if it gets close to my purchase price, I then have the opportunity to do something. Either push it forward, roll it forward, or buy it back, or sell something else. Hamza, how are you today? How do I find those green dot days? Just looking at the company site. Wait, Hamza, you got to go to you got to go and find an EX dividend calendar. When you find an EX dividend calendar, you actually have to insert the stock symbols into the calendar, and then the calendar will put them where they belong. Because what it does, okay, say on the 14th, which is tomorrow, see, April 2025, the 14th tomorrow, there's 13 companies paying a dividend. Tuesday, there's 24. Wednesday, there's 15. Thursday, there's 25. And Friday, there's just one. Okay? Say it again, Jay. I don't know what you want me to say again. Kimmy Marie. How are you, Kimmy Marie? Thank you kindly. User 96183766948037. What were your parents thinking when they named you, dude? Bo, Delta Airlines, and LUV. Southwest Airlines. Delta Airlines, Southwest Airlines. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. Oh, Fauci, that's funny. Shaq, Cree, how are you today? Didn't finish COP. ConocoPhillips, kind of did. Their forward PE ratio is great value. Okay, Mike D, I'm not quite sure which one we're talking about, but okay. If you like whatever that PE ratio was. What is that current stock? Knight Transportation. Noel Starlight, good evening. You were comparing to Nvidia. Oh, that was General Motors. Okay, General Motors has been around for 100 years. How much money should I start with and where should I invest it? Oh, Chris, I know nothing about you, so I really can't tell you what to do, where to do it, or who to buy. Okay, Chris, I'm just showing up the basics. The trading strategy I'm sharing with you for free was something I created for my 9-year-old when she was 9. She's 26 now. But in 2008, she jumped on my lap and said, Daddy, can you teach me what you're doing? Okay. Got to be simple. Whatever you're doing, Chris, okay? I have no idea what you're looking for. But the trading strategy I'm showing you, I use it because I'm retired and I need a safe, predictable, consistent profit. Well, 1% profit works out just fine for me. What's the minimum premium yield you prefer? 1%. Harry, good. Do you sell options only on Monday? Monday or Tuesday? Because sometimes we don't have a Monday trading day. Pedro! Maycock 300. Good evening. Pedro, James, when the stock drops down a lot, do you collect the one? Yes, you do. Usually, how long do you hold one stock? I'd like to hold it just for 5 days. Is there a percentage of dollar value below a strike price you like to enter? Under 250, Scotty. Shaq, good evening. Andrea, Laura, Cool Beans. Okay. So rest of the week you don't do anything? No. Okay. Harry, the rest of the week, I do all my trades on Monday, normally. That gives me the biggest bang for my buck. Okay. Now, Tuesday, I'll just look at all my positions and see what the stock did on Monday. Because I do my trading in the morning, and then around 10 o'clock, I turn my computer off. And I have no clue what happens until that night when I turn my computer back on to take a look. Because I'm not one of those that sit in front of my computer. I have other things to do. Victor, any advice on how to stop gambling on options? Yeah, stop. Okay, so see, Victor, I sell options. I don't buy them, I sell them. Because here's the thing about options, Victor. 80% of all options expire worthless. So ask yourself a question. If 80% expire worthless, do you want to be an option buyer or an option seller? Now, I understand buying options can be very profitable, and sometimes they are. But if 80% of them are going unused or expiring worthless, then why would I want to buy them? I want to sell them and be on the 80% side. Well, that's just me. I'm weird that way. All right. Right, so Harry, what I basically do, Monday I do my buying and selling. Okay? Tuesday, I look and I see what I sold, what I bought, where is it now? Just kind of like looking, okay, what did I buy? All right, so what I bought at, good. What's it at now? Yeah, okay, fine. That's basically it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Monday and Friday is the most important days because Monday I do the buying. Friday, I decide, well, do I let it go? Do I roll it forward? Do I buy it back? Well, Friday is more important than Monday, but Monday, that's when we're buying. Friday is when we're trying to figure out what are we doing to prepare us for next week. All right, we're at 11:15, way past 9:30, 11:30. So we are done. So done over here on that Facebook page. Later. Done over here on this Facebook page. Later. Oh. And done over here on Instagram. You guys have a great day and see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love ya. Tomorrow. Guys, have a great day over here on TikTok channel number 1. Done over here. You guys on YouTube. Have a lovely day. And